Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dan Eichhorn, President and Chief Operating Officer for PSEG Long Island. Appreciate everybody signing in for our latest update on our restoration efforts here on Long Island and in the Rockaways. First, high level, what I'd like to cover is just our status of our overall restoration. As reported, we lost 420,000 customers in Tuesday's event. Currently, there's still 105,000 customers remaining, and we have restored 315,000 customers. That's about 75% of the customers who lost power are currently back, and as I have mentioned many times, we will continue to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the last customers back. We continue to meet with our mutual assistance groups. We have open requests for additional line workers to come into our territory. We received about additional 150 line workers today. We have about the same amount coming in tomorrow, and we have about 700 off-island, out-of-state tree trimmers that have come in to assist with the restoration efforts. So we will continue to accept more crews. We'll continue to work around the clock, as I mentioned, to all customers are restored. I shared some of our bigger data. Any storm that we have, our restorations always begin with making sure we stabilize our system. So we focus on making sure substations and transmission lines are back, and then we start restoration on the smaller circuits in the neighborhood areas. We had 2 interconnections that came out of service during the storm. Both those interconnections are back. 19 of the 19 substations we lost are back in service. 8 of the 838 kV transmission lines are back in service, and 26 of 30 69 kV circuits are back in service. So you can see by those numbers, we've got our system very much restored at the high level from a stabilization standpoint. 2 days ago, we said we had 285 distribution level circuits that were locked out. They are typically the problem areas with the most customers on them. We made a commitment that by yesterday at 4 p.m., those circuits would be back on and those customers restored. All those circuits have been restored, so the big lockout areas, we call them, are now back in service. We're now turning our attention to the area outs, and that's getting into a little bit more of the back streets, the areas where from anywhere from 20 to 500 customers may be impacted. Our crews are assigned that work. We initially thought that work was going to take us 2 days. With our crews out assessing the damage, the extensive damage, we are going to be needing another day. So we see that work out in the towns, working on these areas out. Initial forecast was 2 days. We think that's going to be 3 days, and then we will work on the individual services. So there will be an adjustment with our estimated energization time to Sunday night. Some jobs may spill over into Monday, and it's really a result of us being out there. The damaged locations are much more to get the same number of customers back than in a typical storm. We continue to work on some of the communications issues that we've had. We made some additional enhancements in our systems yesterday. We are seeing a much better performance today when customers are interacting with us online, texting us, and calling us as well. So we understand the frustration there. And as I have mentioned several times, that is not the experience we want to deliver, but that has not impacted our ability to restore. Our crews have been extremely busy, very productive. As you see, lots of customers being restored every day. So we just want customers to recognize we have not been impacted, our restoration plan, by the fact that we've had some of these communication issues with our customers. We continue to make outreach stations available. We have an outreach station in Patchogue, in Brentwood, Green Lawn, Roslyn, Woodmere, and Babylon. Those stations will be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and we'll be distributing water and ice in those locations. We are reviewing our orders closely, so if we have a customer who has a medical condition, we do escalate that and try and accommodate those customers and resolve their issue as safely and as quickly as possible. And just to reiterate, I've mentioned this before, our total line workers and tree trimmers are now at 3,500 employees. That includes our internal workforce as well as the out-of-state workers that we've received. We'll continue to take more. We have more arriving today, more arriving tomorrow, and our focus right now is to really get our customers back. That's the end of my update. I will open it up for questions.
Hey, Dick, it's Mark Harrington from Newsday. How you doing?
Hi, Mark.
Oh, yeah. We had a story today about an injured worker. Can you give us any sort of an